Alright, hey guys, it's Demon coming back for another round of Final Fantasy XIV. So I'm going to do one more episode for today, and then I am done for the day, I think, in terms of recording. Truth be interpreted as truth transformed, today's heroes may yet become tomorrow's gods or something else. Well, I'm screwed. Welcome home, Hydaelyn. Alpha was worried sick about you. Why don't you go and set his mind at ease? Hey, Alpha, now how you doing? Praise the 12, you are hail and whole. I came as soon as Mephilia informed me of Sir Emmerich's request. You've completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake. I take it, then I shall hear your report. I kind of got screwed. I no longer have the Echo, I think. You converse with Ms. Goldsmere. I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. You to understand the Worm Lord did not perish and has suits lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more a rejuvenation, for he who dwelt in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emmerich immediately. However, we dare not divulge our conversation with Midgodsmere in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk, lest we forget men have executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection and for the sake of tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. Actually, one second. Oh, god damn it. Is there something you were not telling us, Hydaelyn? Perhaps. I apologize for not reading the other bit and had a jump cut established. Is there something you were not telling us, Hydaelyn? You seem different somehow. It's almost if you were missing something important. All the crystals got taken away. 12 offend Midgodsmere had stripped you of the blessing of light. Are you alright? How do you feel? Fine. I see it is really that you were otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that anyone or any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgodsmere made mention of the covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Athlic and Nemea, brother of Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgodsmere ever watch over the source from which all water and magic was set to flow. I wonder if this was the covenant which he spoke of. It was not the gods with whom he treated, but Hydaelyn herself. Well, if he was watching over you as he claimed me up, you will have an opportunity to ask. Let's keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. So we hide in more stuff? Okay. I'm fine with it. Hey, dragon friend. Art thou a pawn or master of thy fate? Hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? Talk crap to me, you little bastard. I'll whoop that ass. Talking crap. I will dab on you.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Worm Lord and lived to tell the tale. I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Okay.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
Just Jesus is a dick sometimes. The Guardians have warred with Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years, and all that time, not once has their enemy breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet, regardless how strong these match wars may be, I fear nonetheless, the Guardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Miss Goldmere who roared, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we cannot do aught but observe the situation at a distance, and pray that our fears are unfounded. So there was a message from Modrida from the Scions. Yeah, I forget. I believe Modrida had requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume that she must have made some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Very informed that our business with the Edge Guardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I have completed my communication with the Crystal Braves. Where the hell is she at? Is she over here? Oh, there she is. Well done with the talk of dragons. Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head to the Solar, shall we? Oh god. I don't think I'm able to fight the Ascians right now. In theory, my character is missing the blessing, so if I don't have the blessing, I'm kind of, is it Terma, I think. I think it's called Eft.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Ooh, breakthroughs.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white Eorzea has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White Eorzea can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white Eorzea cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve, and I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? Aye, I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum.
Ooh.
During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Ascians will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a crystal brave, you are yet a scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalymo shall accompany you.
No Ida?
Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white Orsite.
Thank you, Eorzean. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
Oh, Alpha is right outside? I figured they're gonna have me run all the way out there. It seems that the events have once more conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I wish it were otherwise. I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The Fourth have already deployed the area and await arrival of Ascians. Wilred will brief you in the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at headquarters in Ul'dah. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go support the front lines. Your duties take you to Northern Thangland, did they not? We too must say our farewells to the Rising Suns for a time. Famalin travels to Ul'dah, and we shall serve as our escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides of civil unrest and imperial mechanizations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see. It is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scion's cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. Ah, how extraordinary that my little Cilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. Colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ul'dah has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with the streets. Woe betide the black god that so much glares in your direction, my lady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way, then? Yes. You got poofy red hair. Poofy. Alright, bye everybody, good luck, don't die. Why'd you walk up to me to give me the gentle nod? Yay, I get to go to the processing plant. I get to go see Jesus. Jesus is pissed. Alright. There, see what we can find. Well read. Well read. Commander Luvia has sent word that you are coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since the disaster with the Almajal. But returning to the task at hand, the Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Reborn's push. Such a force is entirely interested in one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Please speak with Lieutenant Edelstein that we might coordinate our counter strategy. Meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Corporal Zhed, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that be such a... Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters for our attention. The civilian draftsmen you see have come across several highly suspicious crates with the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a close work, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design no less. But by my order, Flame stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we're unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind us, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news on the latest movements of the Imperial Army. I would once again ask for your aid. Ooh, I like your aid. We're keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison. It would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault, focused on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared their support with the Crystal Braves. They decided to take the field to meet this assault head-on. I apprised your fellow Scions of the situation and upon to know that they will be joining the efforts. Pray report to Lieutenant Alain and lend your much welcome strength to the counteroffensive. I'm watching this time too. I'm just like 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Brain's going 100 miles an hour. The squad soldiers met her. I shall not harm the lovely Rita. Excellent weapon she yields. I don't believe the lady is in need of additional protection. Have you ever seen Moan swing her axe? Wipe, slice, cleave. That's really no stopping her. Now that's an impressive piece of steel. Beauty. A lady merchant around us told simply gave it to me. Said she was investing in the future or some such. That is a terrifying looking blade. Glad to have you with us, Hydaelyn. I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castro Meridian. The main column assembles to the north near Dolman's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempt to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilbe. Greetings, Scion. Our Senior Commander bids you and your fellows lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at disposal, the force should have little trouble contending with what the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The third was getting restless hold of an old us, so I marched them out here to fill any holes the plan's defenses, add their numbers to the counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. It would be best to avoid staging battle anywhere near this such Corellium. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. Wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequence should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scions will join the fourth. We have battle to this main column. You're with the third, the warrior of light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Uyahase. His scouts should have a rough idea where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. Gotta go fast, gotta go fast, gotta go fast. My character looks pissed. Where the hell is he is that the short guy? Oh, there he is. A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Operation invariably succeed when you're around, and victories will or won't to pave the road to greater coin. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads. The best conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts. I imagine we'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground. Make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. As you've seen, you're in an army up to yourself. I've assigned you on your areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. This will be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task's done. Happy hunting, Scion. Okay. My character's just like, okay, me good. I'm a one-man army. I can go and kill everything. They're just like, yeah. It's like, okay, I'm friendly. Damn, that's a tight squeeze. Jesus. Oh, my friends. Yeah, we'll dull your ass. You cannot fight what is stronger than me. My character is much more powerful. At least 30 levels. Actually, 30 levels. I'm pretty damn good, aren't I? I dab upon you. I'm not gonna lie, eventually it starts to become a challenge. You'll probably be right around Heaven's Ward. In all seriousness, it takes Heaven's Ward to get actually a challenging part of the game. You seen Grim Scion? I'll take that as meaning between us. More than a few Garleans won't be missing back to Castrum. These Imperials, though, they have made us earn our pay. I'd be a happy man if I ever had a tussle with one of those Magitech whores. It's time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the Fourth and let Lieutenant Alane know the west is clear. Appreciate it if you do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Hurry up and do that. I always forget you never come back to this place after a while. I hope they eventually take you back here. It'd be a lot of fun. Because once you do Heaven's Word, actually no, you don't even go back to the other places. Corporal Zhed, what news of Garleans? They're all dead. The raiding parties are no more then. Excellent. The Eorzean engineers, we must relieve that the head of the planet is no longer in immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Yeah, no problem, comrade. I was saying concern for Ms. well-being. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Alane has reported a sound of victory over the main column. Informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. Rogadian lady with the large axe. What appears she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I don't know what keeps her, or what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thunderland is no place to wander alone. If a capable sort of, such as her, certainly feel better about things if you go check on her before you continue anyway. Oh yeah, she's a comrade. Of course we're gonna go check on her. Don't leave friends behind. Other Earth Spirit cores. Yes, I did it. I did it. I didn't do shit. She seems to be having fun.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it.
It's about to get real.
So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
Thanks.
She senses me. A useful talent.
Who the hell is that?
An Ascian. Are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Garlean, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth. Meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath. Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee.
Oh, crap.
Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What did that bastard want with us? Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious. But this staff... You say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Is this a running thing, or is this a fast travel thing? I will assume it's a fast travel thing. Let us rush. Gotta go fast, gotta go fast, gotta go fast. I'll keep the little dragon guy with me until I decide to get rid of him. Please through this part and then the Heaven's Ward. I think that's fair. Yeah. Master Louis Wall's staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now, quickly. That's when I would have put in this nice reinforced safe and sat there and told the guy to go F himself. And we're missing the staff.
You two!
Where the hell's the rest of the staff?
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull, and quite incapable of barring my entry.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on. But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Did you already try this? And failure?
Moonbreeder!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
Why'd my character have their bow out and then they put it away? What's the point in that fight?
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
Wait, did you just walk through without me doing anything? Oh, so this is another dungeon. Ah. Forget about me, go. Well, unfortunately, I will have to forget. We will have to do this, perhaps, tomorrow. Unfortunately, guys, that is exactly what's going to go on. And I'm going to keep my character positioned. Right about there. Yeah, we'll do this one. Yeah, that works. We'll cover that up. I don't want to get in trouble for stuff. So with that, guys, unfortunately, I got to end the episode right now. When we come back, we're going to run through that rift, see what the hell's going on. But unfortunately, it's another dungeon. I love dungeons. Dungeons make me happy. Only and only if it doesn't take that goddamn long to end it. Or actually get into it. Ending it's not bad. Getting into the damn thing's a bitch. So, before I continue, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. We come back tomorrow, everybody. We're going to continue with this and go save Menphilia and hopefully figure out what this staff actually has planned for, because it is cool. So, I will be seeing you guys then. Thank you.